Welcome to Vandenberg Air Force Base, the home of Boeing's GMD interceptor flight test production operations and the West Coast Missileers EI team. Vandenberg Air Force Base is headquarters for the 30th Space Wing. The 30th manages Department of Defense space and missile testing and placing satellites into polar orbit from the West Coast using expendable boosters and ICBMs such as Minuteman III, Atlas, and Delta rockets. The 150 square mile area between San Francisco and Los Angeles is surrounded by the Santa Ynez Mountains, the Pacific Ocean, and ranches of northern Santa Barbara and San Luis Obispo counties. Larger in acreage than the nearby cities of Lompoc, Santa Maria, and Guadalupe combined, Vandenberg is the largest entity within the area. Development was stimulated in northern Santa Barbara County when Vandenberg became the West Coast Space and Missile Hub.
Hi, my name is Brian Jones. I'm the lead industrial engineer and EI team facilitator for the West Coast Missileers here at Vandenberg Air Force Base. Our EI team is an important part of our production operations here for flight test vehicles for the ground-based mid-course defense system here in California. Our team is a cohesive, diverse group who gets together weekly. We started our EI team about 2 years ago, and we had a pretty rough start. We were following the four-stage Boeing model to create an EI team, and our first meetings, there were very few people there. People had seen this before and didn't want to put a lot of time into something that they've seen go by the wayside. So we worked hard to get a few successes under our belt, and once we got success under our belt, people started to want to join and be a part of that success, as well as other areas and departments here at Vandenberg Air Force Base starting their own EI teams because they can see that the EI philosophy really works. Our team would not be as successful as it has been without our management team support. Now let's take a look at some of the people and projects that have made our EI team so successful.
The EI team has been instrumental in getting changes accomplished that we needed in order to do our job more efficiently. And as each person in the team makes a suggestion, the rest of the team jumps right in to help out and improve and implement that. And in doing that, it just makes everyone's job easier. And when they see that happen, everybody gets more excited about being a part of that, and they get more involved, and they contribute, and they're happy to jump in. So any way we can do our job better and more easily, everybody's on board with that. So it's been a big improvement working out here.
A lot of guys weren't quite sure what the lean thing was all about when we first started. And then once we started coming together and getting these projects going and getting their ideas, and they were able to actually voice their opinions and some of the ideas to where they could prove different things, they took ownership of it, and then they ran with it. And that's when it started getting exciting for some of the things we were able to do and accomplish in actually a relatively short period of time.
So we're the ones that have the better understanding how the equipment works, how it operates, and who better to come up with an idea than people that actually have a hands-on.
I had one project in particular that I worked on myself, which is for the pH enclosure, which you'll see when you go visit DLF. And that was consisted of just an environmental enclosure for us to use to keep the guys dry and also help with coordinating, storing equipment, and that type of thing.
We've done several projects up here along that line. Made a tool van that we use all of our tools and equipment out of. It was usable before, but it wasn't efficient, and we've modified that to make it efficient and better to support our needs. We've also made sure that it meets all the requirements of the 5S concept, and everything has its place and a place for everything. And also it fulfills our program requirements with foreign object damage. We've also done the same type of project with a Connex container that we modified to turn into a portable workshop, and we purpose that for several different operations that we do. And we also use that for storing flight parts in a secure location where we can kit those parts so that they're ready to go at the point of use and then use them as we need them. So there was a need for a larger transportation system, so we purchased a 40-foot flatbed that we use to transport our equipment and supplies off the site where before it would take 2 or 3 trips with one of our smaller trucks in order to transport equipment, and now it can be done with one trip. And that 40-foot flatbed was instrumental in allowing that to happen. We save a lot of time and money by doing that.
We had identified an issue with installing a shroud. We had a nut and a washer that we actually had to reach inside the vehicle to install it. And a lot of times, a couple times they've been dropped in there, and drop parts inside of a vehicle, it's lose a lot of shifts trying to get it out. So now that was brought up prior to EI. Since EI has been involved, we readdressed the issue, and we come up with some ideas. We draw some little prototypes up. We made some prototypes, and one of our technicians, we cut some tools out in the back, and one of our technicians took them home, welded some things up, and came up with what he calls the hinge tool. So basically what it does, it encapsulates the nut and the washer to prevent dropping as you're installing the hinge. We've had camera systems here at the MAB get redone, cable tray systems put underneath the strong back, dollies made to handle some of our lifting equipment. There's been numerous projects going on here at the MAB, as well as the silos.
Our payoff and benefit for our team has been just being able to improve our process, being able to get our parts on time, to get our procedures written and approved, and not having to wait hours on end before we could start work. I mean, this has been really great as far as being able to get a lot of that done, so we can streamline the process and build a more effective vehicle. And that's the key. That's our whole role here, is to make sure that we're producing the interceptors that are going to defend our country.
We definitely plan on continuing the process and these initiatives. Every day someone has a new idea. We have weekly meetings, and there's never a meeting when somebody doesn't have a new idea about a better way to do something. And after seeing the successes of the past, everybody's eager to build on those successes and implement new ideas for the future.
It's nice to be able to put a project out there on the floor, from start to finish, come together as a team, get it accomplished, and see it actually out there in the working environment, and seeing how it's beneficial to everybody. So that right there is a sense of accomplishment and pride.
We have a fantastic team here. Well, both the team here at Vandenberg and the team up at Fort Greely, Alaska. When employees can find a way to do something that kind of addresses some of their questions and problems, and they see that it's backed up and it will happen, morale improves. We also have a real good recommendation. We put out Pride at Boeing Awards. We've even done some cash awards, and just little things to make the employees know that we really are listening and they're appreciated.
Collectively this past year, from January until present, the teams have generated 92 ideas, 64 of which have been completed since the beginning of the year, and we see no sign of them letting up in their efforts to continually improve their processes. It is the empowering the employees that are closest to the work. This in itself has generated the ideas that are truly allowing us to realize the benefit in all accounts of our business, being quality, safety, and production flows. The teams are able to bring their collective ideas together. They bounce those across each other at the respective sites to ensure consistency across the program. But bringing those ideas and percolating them up from the level in which the work is being performed is where the true benefit is realized.
I'm proud of the cost savings that we've been able to save our customer. And we've saved the taxpayers over $4 million in the last year and a half, with a projected savings of over $7 million by the end of 2008.